Monster Brick Reviews.
Here's a look at the Lumibricks Vineyard Estate. It has 2,800 pieces, a lot of bags here. Here's the box. It's a very big box for a Lumibricks set. Normally they try and get them packed down as small as possible, and this one is probably the smallest they could get. But boy, there was a lot of bags in here. It's super packed, and you can see all the detail from the set in here. Comes with this little truck. It has a full lighting kit, a lot of sand green. This truck is sand blue, and it comes with little characters, little figures too, which are really nice. And as far as I could tell, every decoration you see in here is a print. There are no stickers that I could find. And they were very smart about where they put their lighting so that the lighting really brings it to life and it looks like interior lighting as you build. All right, and there's a better look at it. And one of the things that they show off is that the interiors are accessible by pulling out the whole floor so that you can see everything. You can place things a little easier than trying to get your hands in there. So that's really a great design. All right, so that's the box. Now, what you see here are all of the different boxes. Bags. So here's bag 1, bag 2, bag 3, bag 4, bag 5, then bag 6, 7, bag 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And then, of course, there are a couple of other bags here. This bag is called F. I think the F stands for maybe functional or special. And what I found is that Lumibricks includes specialized pieces that let you route the wiring. The wiring is typically very fine, and these pieces allow for that. But you'll see there's other stuff in here too, like that hairpiece, these 2 hats. So, but most of these do look like they are meant to allow you to route wiring. They have little grooves and things like that that let you get the wires through without pinching the wires. And then the bricks will sit nice and flush after you've used these specific bricks. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad they included those. And then this whole bag is also called F, which we call that figures. So if that one is functional, then this is figures. And so notice here that you have to put each leg onto the hips, and the legs are slightly directional. So like one end of that yellow leg is the toe and the other end is not. You also have to you have to stick the arms into the torsos. See, the torsos do not have arms on them, and you have to stick the hands onto the arms. And I found that that's super hard. It's very difficult. I have to use a special technique to make that happen. But once I got that going and was able to do it, it went much quicker the next couple times that I had to do the little figures. But didn't enjoy that. That's probably my least favorite part of building Lumibricks, is putting those little figures together. And then there is this other kind of loose bag, and these are your larger plates. This is a dark green and a tan. As far as the colors go, everything I'm seeing here are really good matches for Lego's colors. The tans, they do a lot of nice nougat colors, browns. They are a really good match. Lumibricks does have their own unique color. So you know how we have light gray and dark gray. Lumibricks also has a light gray. So if, let's see here, if this is light gray from Lego, we look at that compared to their light gray. It's a unique color compared to white, right? So here's white, which is different. So Lumibricks does do that. I think that adds a little bit of additional color and grayscale to everything. It's kind of cool, but it can be hard to figure out what you're looking at and whether you're trying to grab a white piece, a light gray, or a light gray. So that can be kind of a pain. You'll see here, there's a printed piece in there. Let's grab another random bag here. So, here's one. Has a sand green door. Here's a printed, looks like it's a tile with a decoration. Looks like that's a painting that probably goes on the interior. The prints are pretty detailed, and the print quality is not bad on these. And most of the time, as far as I could tell, the part designs are identical to what Lego would make. There are a couple exceptions here and there, but for the most part, they are pretty much identical. So they should be compatible with your Lego sets. Here's a bag just of tiny little accessories and parts. You can see the great pieces, a hat, flower pieces in that one. Here's one that has a whip in green. They probably use that as a vine in there. Yeah, as far as I can tell, these are pretty much a match for what you'd find in a Lego set. Here's a dark green. There's just a normal green, regular green. All right, and then looking at the instructions, you get two really thick booklets. Okay, each of these are pretty heavy. Inside this book, it tells you a little bit about Lumibricks. This is a service card where you figure out how to contact them. It has a little bit of a narrative to tell you about the set, the idea behind the set. And looks like it has some information about the vignettes, and then tells you what's included, the type of lighting, how to troubleshoot, and about the battery box, how to connect and disconnect from some of the junction hubs. And it even includes tweezers. We'll show you that. Here's what's inside each of those electronic bags. It gives you two bags for the lighting. So it looks like it gives you one string has studs and then cones, and then it's 4 studs, and then here's a optional USB connector. And there's some options here, studs. So they're uniquely shaped and uniquely strung along to work specifically in this model, which is really cool. That I've never seen before. I'm not really sure what that one is. And then as far as the instructions go, different languages, which is handy. You can see the minifigs have cloth capes and stuff like that, or drapes. And here's what the building looks like. You can see that it's showing you how to route the wires. Very handy, which I appreciate. They do a good job with routing the wires. I'm not crazy about the 1x1 studs. I've had problems getting these little guys, the lighted ones, to stay put. They always pop out. And as far as this instruction manual goes, the instructions are well paced. They don't try to cram too much into one step. And then where helpful, they give you an overhead view so you can see where things are specifically supposed to get lined up. And I appreciate when they do that, because it can get a little bit finicky, especially with the lighting, to know exactly where you're supposed to be placing things. So there you go, with a lot of detail, lots of pieces in there, and they take their time. And if they need to explain something or caution you on something, they will spell it out and they'll write it all out, and they'll say, hey, pay close attention to this. This piece works this way. You're going to want to make sure it has this orientation. So I've seen that in these instructions. They're very well done. As far as the coloring goes in the instructions, they're also pretty good too. I can easily tell the difference between the different colors for the parts. And then they do this handy thing where they outline in red the new parts for that particular step. So that's handy. Oh, here's that little printed piece. So it looks like it goes on a easel. So it looks like somebody's painting that outdoors. So that's their view that they're seeing under this archway. That's really clever. And more information in here. Look at that. There's some detail on how they hold up the roof in there. It's got some structure to it. So they have thought through a lot of stuff. And here's the truck. The truck is pretty decent. Pretty well done. Look at that. It's even got a gear lever. You can put a minifig in it. Looks like you can put storage in the back in the pickup. And it's a unique color. I don't think I've ever had a truck in sand blue, so I'm looking forward to that. And here's a look at being able to slide out that entire interior. It's got a wine rack and barrel racks and things like that. Oh, and I didn't notice it has garage doors on the back side. That's cool. Oh, and then here's more information about the other sets that sort of pair well for it. There's some really cool sets in here. Let's take a look at the lighting kit and what we got here. So here's the box for that, and open it up. Looks like safety precaution sheet, 2 bags for the light parts. You have a light box, or sorry, a battery box. So it has a USB, and then an on-off switch, and then you need a screwdriver to open it up. And luckily they include a screwdriver, and they include metal tweezers. And this could come in handy not only for placing parts, but for plugging and unplugging the wiring. And so I did open up one of these earlier. Let's take a look at the light pieces so we can see what we're getting into. Like here's what the strands look like, and this little guy is the connector that plugs in. And so you see it over here too is another little connector. So each of these has a lighting element inside it. Here's the USB, so you can plug that into the hub. And here is what I'm calling the light hub. Yeah, so all those little white connectors plug into this, and then you plug this into that, and then it sends the power to it. So let's open up the second one and see if we can't figure out what that weird circular piece was. Maybe it's in there. So here's all the pieces. So we have a light brick. So that looks like either there's lighting, or maybe it's just, I don't really see light coming out of that, but maybe it's just, I'm not really sure. This might just be a specialized piece, but here's the circular piece. Oh, I see. This little guy needs to get stuck into here, and then it becomes a lit piece. I see. Okay. And then this is the circular one. Looks like you plug something into here, so maybe this entire thing glows and is a light. And it looks like it has plugs on both sides, so maybe it meant to be in between or something like that. So yeah, we'll find out how that's being used. All right, big set. Take me a while to build it. Once I have it built, hopefully I'll be able to post a review about the entire thing once it's built. All right, thank you very much.